Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of my top 10 best and worst anime characters of all time. This video is on the top 10 worst male anime characters. Now, just to say how I base these characters, why I don't like them, it's basically about their characteristics and how they treat others and also overall appearance. That's how I base whether I like a character or not, just to give you a little incentive on how I made my decisions. And without further ado, let's get started. Number 10. Number 10 is Shinji Ikari from Neon Genesis Evangelion. Now, I had a big grudge with this character ever since I saw the anime. When I heard about Shinji Ikari, they made it seem like he was one of the best anime characters ever made. Instead, what I got was a pathetic, weak, lame, boring, and such a pussy character. I mean, he's put in situations where he needs to make a quick decision, and he doesn't know what to do. He just literally just whines, or he cries, or he says, "I don't want to do it," and he just bitches and moans and all that stuff. He was a lame character. And he was weak and pathetic. I could not root for this guy for the love of everything. What puts him so low on the list, though, is because I recently started watching the new reboot of Evangelion, and his character has done a whole 180, and now he's all of a sudden badass and awesome, and I like it. This new Shinji's much better than the old Shinji, but in this list, I'm mentioning the old Shinji, the lame, boring, and quite weak Shinji. Number 9. Number 9 is Ogi Kosma from School Rumble. Now, the reason I don't like this character is because he was so bland and uninteresting as a character. He was like a poster in the back of the wall that you don't really pay attention to until somebody points it out to you, like, "Oh, there's Ogi Kosma. Oh, I never noticed that." And to think that Tenma sees something in this guy, yet she doesn't see anything in Harima, kind of irks me, because Harima's such a great guy, and then you got Ogi Kosma. There's nothing interesting about the guy. He's pretty boring and lame, other than the fact that he's quiet and mysterious. I guess she likes that kind of character. But Kosma is somewhat of a jerk to Tenma in some of the episodes in the show, because he doesn't really pay attention to her at all. Yet Harima devotes most of his time to try and please Tenma and to get to know Tenma, while Kosma, who is the attention or is the main focus for Tenma, hardly cares one bit for her. And that made me the most angry, and that's why I didn't like this character. Number 8. Number 8 is Yuki Soma from Fruits Basket. Now, the reason why I don't like Yuki Soma is kind of the same reason why I don't like Ogi Kosma. He was very bland and uninteresting in the anime, and he was kind of preppy to me. I don't like stuck-up characters, and Yuki looked and acted just like a stuck-up character. I don't care if he was, affected by Akito in the anime. He just seemed so preppy, and I didn't like it. And how everyone thinks he's such a great guy, he's such an awesome guy, and then they all forget about Kyo, who is an awesome guy. He's trying to look for acceptance, something that he never got. Yet Yuki has been adored and loved for all of his life, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know what to do with all of this." If you were given a situation like that where you have adoring fans, especially like Yuki in his school, a lot of girls like him, dude, I would take up that opportunity. Yet he's like, "I don't know what to do with it." That's a smack in his face. That's why I don't like that character. Number 7. Number 7, and I know I'm going to get some flame for this, but number 7 is Light Yagami from Death Note. This one's kind of a sore spot for me. Out of all the characters on this list, this was the one character I actually used to like, and then slowly began to despise. And here's my reason behind it. He had a great idea of trying to change the world by getting rid of all the criminals, so that the criminals would be scared to do any crimes because they might get killed by the one known as Kira. And I thought that was such a great premise. If I could have done that, I would have took up that helm and be like an Avenger for the little man, you know? The problem with Light though is he's the perfect example of how a good idea can go awry. How a good idea can be twisted. How power can mess up an individual's thought process and change his character and his persona drastically. Because once Light had the power to take life, he changed as a character. He became more cynical and more maniacal, and he started using people so that they wouldn't get close to him, and killing off people without a care in the world, people that didn't deserve to die. And it didn't matter who got in his way or who was on his side. Anybody that stood in his way or was slowly stopping his plans or was a blocking stone in his plan, he would just wipe them clean off with no second thought whatsoever. And that in itself is the pure definition of evil, which Light Yagami sadly is. And that's why I don't like his character. Number 6. Number 6 is Soychiro Arima from Kare Kano, or His and Her Circumstances. I never liked this character. I found him uninteresting, unattractive, boring, lame, and everything you could think of under the rainbow. How Yukino could see anything in this guy is beyond me. Other than the fact that they both share one thing in common, they are good at faking things. Because just like Yukino, Arima is a fake character, and he hides it pretty well. And like I said in my other video, I don't like fake people. And Soichiro Arima is a fake person. No matter how close you can get to, oh, he has gentle feelings. No, he doesn't. He's fake. He's fake. In every meaning of the word. There's nothing real about him. I don't like him. Also, the voice actor who did Soichiro Arima, terrible job. Okay, he did the worst deadpan delivery I've ever heard in a character. When he was supposed to be sounding like he's happy, didn't sound happy. When he was supposed to sound sad, it sounded a little sad. When he sounded like he was joking, didn't sound like he was joking. Just a totally lame character. Number 5. Number 5 is a character that not a lot of people know, and that is Rei from Yusen Yatsur. This handsome alien guy who's infatuated with Lum, but not for the reason that you think. The reason that this character is on this list is because Rei has to be the most sexist character I have ever seen in an anime. Because he doesn't like Lum because she's pretty. He doesn't like Lum because she has a great personality. He doesn't like Lum because she's royalty. He likes Lum because he wants Lum to be the stereotypical woman and make him dinner. That's the only reason he likes her. He's that guy who would say women belong in the kitchen. That's his kind of attitude. Every time, the first time he actually said a real sentence, he actually says, "Will you cook for me for the rest of my life?" That's the only reason he actually likes a girl. So that she can cook for him for the rest of his life. And the one thing that makes me laugh about this character is that he has a transformation, and he goes from looking like this handsome guy to this monster who is kind of gluttonous and big, which can explain why he wants a wife that can cook him dinner all the time, because he's going to be hungry like 1000% of the time. So, but that's the reason why I don't like this character. He's just a very sexist pig. Number 4. Number 4 is Jigo from Princess Mononoke. This has to be Miyazaki's best villain. Why do I say that? Is because this character manipulates people to get what he wants. He tricked the Lady Oboshi to go hunt the forest spirit so that he could get the head of the forest spirit, give it to the emperor, and become filthy rich. He is the pure definition of a selfish human being who cares nothing about what affects the world or what would happen to the world if the forest spirit dies, as long as he's rich, as long as he's happy. And I believe he was an allegory to industry, how industry does not care about what happens to the animals in the forest or what happens to the lakes and trees. As long as they get the finished product, that's all that matters. And that's why I don't like this character. He's very selfish, he's manipulative, and his physical appearance really shows his inside characteristic. He's an ugly human being, outside and inside. Just a heartless soul who would sell his own mother just to be rich. Number 3. Number 3 is Griffith from Berserk. Now, unlike most of the animes on this list, I really didn't like Berserk. Berserk was a sad, depressing, and kind of freaky anime that I wasn't really that into. And Griffith being one of them. Now, to explain why I don't like Griffith, I will have to give away some spoilers. So, for those of you who don't want to hear the spoilers, just know that I don't like him because he did something in the final episodes that I consider a dick move. And if you don't want to hear the rest, skip to number 2. Skip about maybe 50 minutes, or 50 seconds, my bad. 50 seconds ahead, and we'll get back to it. Now, for those of you who did stay, here's the real reason why I don't like Griffith. Griffith was given a choice to either have the world go back to the way it was, yet he would end up as a cripple and not be able to talk for the rest of his life, or he can join the demon gods, become a demon god, then kill and rape all of his friends and have them fed to the demon horde, and he can live forever. Guess which one he chose? Yep. He had his friends sacrificed to demons, they raped the only girl character in the whole show, and they scarred the main character Guts for life. And Griffith is another pure example of selfishness in the human soul. He chose something that would make his life better, but at the cost of hurting others. He didn't care about what happened to the world. He didn't care about what happened to anybody. All he cared about was what he got. And since now he is an immortal and he's a powerful demon god, he's living the good life while everyone else suffers. Selfishness. And that's why I don't like Griffith. Number 2. Number 2 is Shinobu Sensui from Yu Yu Hakusho. Yet another example of human selfishness and blind ambition. Here's the reason why I don't like this character. One time he was sent on a mission to take down this human headquarters that were doing illegal things to demons. And after seeing that, his whole idea of good and evil got twisted. And from that twistedness, he came up with the idea of releasing all the demons from Demon World and bringing them into the human world by opening the gate that divided human world with Demon World. And again, he wasn't thinking for the whole entire human race. He was just thinking selfishly about what he saw and said, you know what? Since these humans were so mean to the demons, I think all humans are like this, so I'm going to make all humans pay. When actually, it's not every human that should be paying for the sin, but a small percentage of them. But in his mind, he said, oh, all humans are bad, so I'm going to punish them by releasing all of these demons. He thought he was the person to bring justice to the world, yet at that moment, he just proved that he was evil. The essence of evil. And that is why I don't like his character. So, after hearing all those names, who could be number 1? Who could be worse than Sensui? Who can be worse than Griffith? Who could be worse than Jigo or worse than Light Yagami? How about a character that we saw develop from the beginning as a good guy, all of a sudden just choose evil for the sake of his own blind ambition and selfishness? How about a character that not only betrayed his best friends for his selfishness, but betrayed an entire village and teamed up with the village's enemy? Or how about a character who lived in a place for thousands of years and betrayed his comrades for the sake of becoming a god? Who am I talking about? Number one is a tie between Sasuke Uchiha from Naruto and Aizen from Bleach. Now I know I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this because I'm like jumping on the bandwagon for hating Sasuke, blah blah. But I have a real genuine reason for hating Sasuke. I used to believe in his goal. I used to believe that what he was doing was right. His brother went and killed his whole entire clan, and we didn't really know the reason why. All we knew was that he killed the entire clan, and Sasuke's plan was to avenge the Uchiha clan by killing his brother. But later on we found out that okay, before I continue, there are some spoilers mentioned. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, skip this part. Anyway, so we later find out that the Uchiha clan was planning to overthrow Konoha and take it over. That is why Sasuke's brother did what he did, because he was loyal to his country, his village, that he was able to put down his own people who were wrong just to save thousands of innocent lives. Yet Sasuke, through his own selfish reasoning, still wanted to kill his brother. And in doing so, he betrayed his village, he betrayed his best friends, all for his selfish reason. I hate selfish people, and Sasuke is the purest definition of a selfish being, only caring for himself, not caring for others. A true asshole. As for Aizen, Aizen was a good guy. He has been a captain for almost a millennia. Never said a word, never did anything wrong, always helping. Nobody suspected a thing, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he chose to do evil. Not only did he betray his comrade, he destroyed how a certain girl looked up to him. She used to think that he was the best thing there is, and actually still did, and was thrown into jail because of it. So not only did he betray his comrade, he made somebody suffer for it, and not only that, for his own selfish reasons. He wanted to become God. So in his process to become God, he betrayed Soul Society, and he hurt this girl's feelings just to get what he wanted. He didn't care who got hurt, who got killed, just so that he could become God. Selfish. And those two are the worst male anime characters in my opinion. So those were my top 10 worst male anime characters. And this concludes the top 10 worst anime characters, both male and female. Thank God. I hated those characters. And I wish they never existed. But you know what? Sadly, they do. But with bad anime characters come great anime characters. So stay tuned for my next video, part 3 of my top 10 best female anime characters of all time. Till then, peace, YouTube.